how did we become franchisees of Fred Astaire Dance Studios? Our area developer said that there was an opportunity for us. You know, I've been with the company for about 12 years, and there was an opportunity for us to open up a studio in Carmel Mountain Ranch, and it was about the time. You know, I've been a top teacher, I've been manager as well, and I owned a studio for a little bit before, and it was kind of, for us, I think the biggest thing is our time to be able to take on our little story. So it was an awesome opportunity, and I can't say that we haven't looked back. Goodness, great crap. We'll cut that. So obviously with our dancing, that is a main priority for our lives. And then we have the studio as well too, which is our baby. So for us, we've got our dancing is usually in the evening time. We get in early in the studio, we work hard, and at the end of the day, we're really working with our dancing.
Usually we get to the studio and we're there all day. We're working and teaching. And then at the end of the night, we then work on our practice and we work on our dancing. Go home, eat, sleep, wake up, and do it again.
I know. But I have to say it's one of the most rewarding things. We are free, we have our own studio, we have our livelihood, and we dance for a living. So,
and it's so nice to have a place that's ours, it's our own,
yeah,
and it's our baby, and so.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that you go in, she designed, I mean, when we did the open in the studio, she designed everything she wanted. The looks, chandelier, the feel, and every time we walk into our studio, it's ours. And to be able to practice our dancing in our studio is probably one of the greatest things for us. So for background, before we got into the business, I've worked for several different systems in dance studios. And all of my training came from ground up, which means I started as a trainee, not knowing anything in the dance business. So I learned all of my dancing through the studio. Business training, everything came from my original studios that we worked on. And to go in a studio as a janitor essentially and walk out as a CEO, that all of the dance training and all of the business training came from a system. That's the biggest thing that I've always preached to anyone, having a system behind you. Fred Astaire's, they lay it out. So there's people that you can go and ask questions. Have a system behind you to be able to do anything you want to do.
So I personally love being a part of a franchise and having a system and people there for you. I call Jen and Oscar all the time. They are like my best friends.
All the time.
So to just have someone to help you with stuff, everyday stuff, whether it's computer or it doesn't matter what it is, they're there to help you versus trying to figure all of it out on your own. Yeah, I can call Oscar and I'd be like, Oscar, it's your best friend. And he knows who it is.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about having Fred Astaire as a franchise is you're not alone. You're not alone. You have every step of the way up there. You've got either your franchisee area developer, or you call and you can go to your home office and call about questions. You've got between the online stuff that they do nowadays, which is like night and day. When I first started in the business, that I can go online and look at videos on any aspect of the training or my syllabus or anything like that, to be able to set up my teachers and just have everything at their fingertips, from cell phone to computer to in the office to at home. It's amazing. So obviously with the pandemic right now, this is in the 16 years that I've been in the business. It's probably the toughest times that I've seen. Usually financial things happen, come and go. Studios always have done well. And the social distancing aspect has been a huge thing for our Fred Astaire, or just studios and dance studios in general. I can't stress enough that having the studios or the system, the franchise, do things to be able to help us between the online videos, to be able to support us in the syllabus that we can do. They've really done above and beyond to help us as the studios to survive and stay alive. I know several schools, independent, that maybe if they would have been part of the franchise, they'd still be around to this day.
It's also the process of reopening and the guidelines they've helped provide to make sure that we're staying compliant and keeping a safe studio. They've gone above and beyond to help guide us for that. And even being here this weekend at the competitions and seeing the videos that they've done, I think they've done far more than all of the independents that I've seen trying to run again, and so that's cool.
CCDC has been amazing. It's so comfortable. You come in between the air filters and the spacing, the social distancing. I haven't seen seeing videos of the other independent comps that have gone on to compare to CCDC is night and day. So our company has done everything they can to make us feel safe and feel comfortable and feel back to normal in our dancing. As far as a dancer being part of a system, I think it's a great way for anyone that's new to even experience dancers, and the fact that starting out in the company you have regional competitions to national competitions to eventually, as you get higher and higher, the support that the company does for us through all of those to the highest level is huge. Also being able to call out and have any of our top judges that are here at the comps to come into the studios to do coaching lessons, to have our judging panel access to them is huge.
I'd say that we would get their support at USDC or at the at those big comps where there's you've got a quarter and a quarter and a quarter of judges from different areas, and they're gonna support their couples. So
yeah, it's good to be a part of the system. Yeah, it's nice to look out, and it's nice to look out across the judging panel and see a lot of friendly faces. And I will say, typically at the independents that we go to, I see a lot of our friendly faces that are out there, which is always nice to be able to go and dance for. If I had the opportunity to go back and pick from the beginning where I would be, I'd absolutely pick Fred Astaire. Again, coming from multiple systems, when we switched originally, there was a visible difference, especially I saw through the dancing quality and through some of the aspects of how things were run that I loved. So I would hands down be picking the franchise and be with Fred Astaire. We would not have met if it wasn't for Fred Astaire, because it was Jesse DeSoto who got me in contact with Kasha Kozak originally. Yeah. I know, right? And Kasha was the way that we got together years later. So because of Jesse DeSoto and Fred Astaire, we got a partnership, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Go Jesse.
That's right. So how does our partnership work, and how does it work with the business?
Balance.
On a very fine edge of balance. Now, I think it helps to have someone that works well in opposite areas, because I am not the most messy. I am messy.
He's not the most organized or event planning. I love that stuff. I'm a perfectionist. Event planning and organization, all those are my assets.
Yep. So we just lock her in the back office. She does all of those things. I handle the people.
No, because I have the pretty face too. So, and he's great with people. He's quite a people person, bubbly, Energizer bunny. So
yeah, it just helps having someone to delegate the different jobs. Yeah, we've been together for 6 years.
And we were supposed to get married in May.
Supposed to get married.
Now next May.
Next May. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that we met.
Oh, worked. I love to be around my partner all the time. I like to work together. I don't know how to explain it. Some couples would not want to work with their significant other, and some like it. I like it. And I think he likes it too.
Yes, I love it. I love being around 24/7 with my partner.
We have different hobbies, so he loves martial arts, and so he's got his time. And I love yoga, and I love my dogs.
So I've been 15 years in the dance business, 16 years in the dance business. Dancing. I mean, I'm not in a cubicle. I'm pretty good right now. I went to my 10-year reunion. I was pretty laughing at all the sports guys that were looking all good in my high school and not so good anymore. So, that was great. But we get to dance and travel. One of the biggest things I used to always say to myself when I was on a competition with a student in Kauai or in Panama or somewhere, I'd walk out onto the deck or walk out onto my balcony and go, I'm at work. I'm at work. I remember being 18 in Kauai at work. It's awesome. And again, not many jobs you can walk in as a janitor and then years later come out walking as a CEO and own your own business. So it's a huge opportunity. I will say there's some times that it's hard work. Like anything, you have to have some drive. You have to have some drive, especially when I first started, I was working 2 jobs. I was flipping burgers at In-N-Out, and I went in as a trainee to the studio, and I was driven. I had to go, and I wanted to work, and I wanted to talk to people, and I sold, and I was able to teach and grow. And then at that point, absolutely, I had a great life. I was traveling. I was fun. I mean, I didn't feel like I was working. I wasn't flipping burgers, which that was the biggest thing. I didn't have grease. I didn't do things. I wasn't scrubbing floors. I was dancing. I was dancing, having fun, and goofing off most of the time as a studio, but it was great. So, absolutely.
Well, I started dancing when I was 15 and Pro-Am, and went to college. Walked into my very first private lesson, and the first thing I said to my teacher, without even dancing before, I said, I want to be a professional, I want to win, I want to become a champion, and I want to open up my own studio. So,
and without the system or without Fred Astaire, that probably wouldn't have happened.
yeah.
It would have been much harder to go in without any background or any history or anything like that, and to say, I want to own a studio, I want to be a dancer. Where's A to Z? And a franchise absolutely can do that. I mean, for me, again, I was flipping burgers. I did some social dancing, but I had no actual skill in knowing what a business was going to run. I had no idea of how to do any of this kind of stuff. It was all trained in-house. And so again, having franchise that someone's going to be there to feed you that information, to teach you how to go things, that's where I learned everything. So it's one of the best things, again, to be able to grow with the system.